Good evening, everybody. It's Cutler here on the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, and I'm still as excited as I was when you all saw me a couple days ago. It's March the 25th, and it is 1 year from the time that I launched this broadcast doing this stuff, and I had no idea what I was doing. That's why I'm excited. That's why I'm celebrating. I'm going to continue the celebration. I have an extremely special guest with me this evening, and there's some things that we're going to talk about. I want to ask you all this, though. Think about this. And I don't know how to say this because you all don't think, I've never heard him say that. Has anybody ever told you to go to hell? And I want to really talk about what that means for us, since we're talking about being inspired. You're going to think, how in the world does he get to inspire us by using that phrase, go to hell? But you all, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about so many other things when I come back right after this.
Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to God.
If you all could only see the dancing and the jumping that I'm doing whenever that introduction plays, you wouldn't believe it. But I want to say thank you all so much for being with me this evening. Again, I'm thrilled. I'm excited because of what we're going to talk about, and especially because of who's joining me. I want to ask you all this, though. As you're coming in, as you're joining the chat, remember, make sure that you share this channel, share this broadcast tonight, because we're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff. And as we are driving along the highway to become better with trying to pick up more and more passengers, I'll shout out the LttC VIPs in just a moment. But as you're coming into the room, thank you all for joining. But do me a favor, make sure that you do a thumbs up to say to YouTube that I like the content that guy's uploading, but it also says to me that you appreciate the conversations that we're having. And then if this is your first time visiting this channel, please make sure, if you haven't done so, please make sure that you subscribe. And after you subscribe, click on that notification bell so you will be alerted to whenever I go live and whenever I've uploaded new content. You all know how I do it. I'm only here for 1,800 seconds. Every time I show up, I'm here for 1,800 seconds. And honestly, I don't want to waste your time, so I got to make the seconds significant. Got to make every minute meaningful, and every moment has to matter. I want to shout out the LttC VIPs, LttC. Why is that a tongue twister for me tonight? I want to shout out the LttC VIPs for this evening. All right, come on into the chat room and let me shout them out. Of course, the first person to show up in the chat room is my mom, Annie Cutler, Raydella Lewis, Jackie Cares RN, and I'm going to go to the top 5 tonight. And then there's Mary Grace 5 and Hattie Bo. Thank you all so much for joining this evening. We're going to talk about a whole lot, but before we start talking about so many other things, as always, I want to say thank you, because you all are sharing your spaces with me, and I don't take that for granted. And whether it is your living room, your bedroom, your front porch, your back porch, your car, wherever it is, I want to say thank you. And while we're in the chat room, what I call us passengers. Let me tell you why I call us passengers. Because we're chatting from this book, Billboards to Better, 366 Daily Sources of Motivation and Inspiration Along the Highway of Life. And while we're driving, we're picking up passengers, we're reading billboards and trying to see, can I apply that one? Can I be better? Because our goal is to make sure that after we chit chat and have a conversation, our goal is always to make sure that we leave a little more inspired, a little more motivated, and a little more challenged to show up better tomorrow than I showed up today. That is the goal. That is our goal. So I want to get started. We are celebrating, we being the Let's Talk to Cutler family, we're celebrating my first year. I'm so excited, but I have to tell you all this. I have to tell you that I could not have done this, and I offered this special thanks a couple of days ago as well. First and foremost, of course, being the spiritual person I am, I certainly thank God. But I want to say thank you all so much to you, the listeners, the family and friends, the fellow passengers, because you all have made this meaningful. I think so many times people log into programs and they look and they log in because they are receiving. But you never know what you do with your comments. You never know how you are encouraging those of us who are providing content. So I want to say thank you all so much for that. And then there's a special thank you that I have to offer to, I call them my triplets, but they are the ones who have produced this broadcast and then so much of the backstage stuff. And they remind me, Cutler, you're a vlogger, so just make sure that you learn the terminology. But they offer so much for the success. If there's any success to be considered for this platform, it is because of my producers, my good friends. I call them my triplets. In fact, let me just show you all this. This is why I really appreciate them. They are crazy. They are crazy. I'm going to show you just a snippet of why I appreciate them. You all hang on. Take a look at this. These are my producers.
I'm gonna sit still.
So listen, y'all. This is what we want to do. If you brought your 10 people, just tell me how many people you invited that actually showed up. Put that number in the comments and say I brought mine, and then put the number, and then we have a special gift for the person that has.
Don't put an S on mine.
And there's
put an S on mine.
No. There's no S on mine. Only one uses. He does whatever he wants to do.
I create words all the time.
All right. So
they blow up. My work does. No, mine. Oh, mine blow up. Oh, so small. Oh,
You all, that was a snippet of me with my producers at my last birthday. I was inside and we were in the midst of the pandemic. I couldn't go outside. So they just came, ambushed my home after we had to self-quarantine. So I live alone. So they made sure, they said, well, we're going to quarantine. We're going to come over to your house. They came over and took over my house, but I could not have done this without them. So a special shout out to them and a thank you to them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask, I know one of them is here, so I'm going to ask him if he would come on because I'm going to bring him on in just a second. And I need to make sure that you all at least see one of my producers. So I'm going to bring you on from backstage now. Juan, I'm bringing you on now. Let's see. Let me make sure. Let's see. And
hi. It's my girl.
Oh, Lord.
I'm in the blue room. I'm sorry. How y'all doing? Hey, Carla.
How are you doing?
Happy birthday. I mean, happy anniversary. Happy something.
Happy something, right?
Mm-hmm. Now listen.
Okay.
Hold on. I have not been with you since Facebook.
That's
so
right.
When I come in, for those who started out with us, what are you all supposed to say? There he is. Put in the chat. There he is. And also, Cutler.
Okay.
You didn't do it, but I brought me something to drink.
Hang on. Yes, I did. Oh, but I did.
If they started with you, they know you bring your tea, your milk, your water.
And if they bring snacks, they have to bring enough for everybody. That's right.
Happy anniversary. Listen, wait a minute. How y'all doing? I haven't been on YouTube, so I don't know how to act, right? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. The girl, she ain't here, but I'm here. There he is, y'all. There he is. Listen, Carla.
Y'all, I think he's loving this because he gets a chance. You all know how he always would upstage Devin. And so now I know you're loving this. Go for it. Go ahead.
All about me. Listen, if my mother was here, she would say, we're having a party. Yes. Y'all know the rest. Yeah. Y'all old timers know the rest. Listen. All right, I'm going to sit back and thank you for inviting me here. One more thing. Okay, here we go. Where am I? So you all know about this, right? Because I was upstairs trying to find my other one, but you called me down. So this is not where we started. Because where did we start?
We started with When I'm Overwhelmed.
When I'm Overwhelmed. That book right there.
So take a moment. Tell them about that book. I mean, whatever you want to say, not necessarily any content, because I want them to read the book.
So okay, here we go. So first of all, Cutler made me and the other producers stay up all night long reviewing the book. But the memory I have of the book the most is God opened so many doors for you, and it seemed like that opportunity was lost. You had dates for readings. You were going to travel to promote the book. People were sending for you, and then you broke your foot, your ankle. You broke something. You broke it. And I broke it. Right. It seemed like what God had given you was lost or was in vain or didn't serve its purpose.
Right.
And here we are, what, like two years after that?
Well, yeah, 3 years now after that particular book.
But when the show started, it was 2 years, right?
Yeah.
After the book, God opened this platform for you, and you have been blessing people ever since. When I'm overwhelmed, if you don't have it, I promise you, it will get you through some tough situations in your life. So we went from when I'm overwhelmed to billboards to billboards.
No, I think we did. We did this one? Did we do this one before? I can't remember. We did this. I don't know if we did this one out of order. We may have done it out of order.
I don't know. But when I'm overwhelmed, it's the start of everything. Yes. And it was appropriate for the time we were in, for what we were going through, what we were dealing with. It was perfect timing. So God has a way, even when we don't understand.
Well, wait a minute. I thought I'm the one who's supposed to be giving the inspiration. So now all of a sudden, you're right. The inspiration.
But no, see, I hang with you, so some of that rub off on me. See how it is? I told you. I hope you're getting something out of this friendship, because I am. I am, my friend. Go ahead. Thank you. Are really, truly a blessing, and I'm going to sit back and let you do the show like you're supposed to do, because I'm new to YouTube. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do. But you are truly a blessing, and happy anniversary. I'm looking forward to the success of this platform.
Wow. Well, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I really, really do. And, you know, when you say God opens up platforms and he opens doors, quite often he uses people to open doors. And you know that because there is this YouTube sensation icon. And actually you were the person who introduced me to that YouTube personality. And I can't thank you so much for that. So before you leave, I'm going to bring on that special guest, and I want you to hang around just for a moment, because you really were the bridge to me meeting. And I have to say this to you all, get ready, because well, you know what? I'm going to bring on my special guest, and then I'll talk about her as soon as she comes on, while she's here. All right. So I want you all, as she comes on, here's what I want you all to say. Hi, Auntie. Hello, Auntie. Put that in the chats. All right. So my good friend now, from Auntie's advice, Auntie herself, you all.
There. And
we got Auntie in the house.
Yes.
Hello there, Bishop.
Auntie, how are you?
I'm fine. Hey, Jason, for you.
Hey, you.
Hi, Jason.
How you doing, Auntie?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes.
And let me just say, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
But I so much appreciate you being here, and I wanted Jay Song to stay on for a while, because he was the one who connected me to you. And I thought, oh my goodness, that is absolutely amazing. I was like, Auntie, really? So you know Auntie? Really? Okay, all right. And I can't thank you enough, Auntie, for being as busy as you are. I mean, you all, this is a truth. When I say sensation and icon, personality, I mean that. Go to her channel.
She crazy, y'all. She crazy.
Listen, you all, and with all of that, she took the time to offer me some guidance and advice. And Auntie, I'm so appreciative of that. I'm so appreciative of how you just, I mean, you took the time to make an investment in me. So thank you. Thank you so much. And I would never forget that one time we talked about, and Jason Juan, you know, we all of us talk about this whole notion of God opening doors, and using people to do that. So passengers and those of you who are in the chat, let me tell you this. One evening, I just showed up one evening, and Auntie has a plethora of things that she talks about. She covers a lot of issues, some social and what's happening current, and just a lot of wonderful stuff. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But this one particular evening, when we were in the middle of our the racial and social climate, and I popped in, and she gave me a seat at the table. She gave a seat at the table, you all. And then near the end of that broadcast, near the end of that show, she said to me that her nieces and nephews wanted someone to pray. And when I tell you all, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And she said to me, because she affectionately calls me Bishop, she said, "Bishop, would you pray?" Do you remember that, Auntie? Talk about an open door. Talk about an open door. So I could not imagine celebrating this 1 year without you being my special guest. So I want to say thank you so much. One, you got anything to say to her? Because I'm going to send you away, because it's going to be just me and Auntie.
I just want to tell your listeners to check out your introduction and her introduction. And because both of you guys are really special to me, it was an honor to put those together for you. And she is, well, I could tell some stories, but I won't. Like how she stole that money from me. Right. She beat me in a talent show. I think I was the winner. So I just want your listeners to know, and her, she owes me $100. Auntie owes Jason $100. I love you, Auntie.
I love you too.
I love you. I want to sit back and enjoy the two of you together. Happy anniversary again, and it's always an honor to see you, Auntie. You're crazy self.
I'm on my best behavior because Bishop Mother's out here. So I'm on my best behavior.
Yeah. Well, she knows I'm crazy, so she just prays for me. She knows I don't have good sense.
Okay.
Can I do one thing? Because, you know, I don't do anything on my birthday.
Absolutely. Listen, this is celebration. Absolutely.
Okay, keep that right there. So this is my birthday month. And a year ago, I had a big function planned. And I pulled some friends together, some singers and some poets. And I called a special poet friend of mine, and I asked him to write me a special poem for my birthday. And then it didn't happen. So I said, just hold on to it until I have my celebration. So look at his face. And so if you don't mind, it is my birthday month and it's your anniversary. And it has
mofo.
I haven't committed it to memory, and it's not in front of me. But
it's not in front of you. All right, then. You sure it's not in front of you?
I can do something.
You sure?
Yeah, maybe. Auntie, we're gonna sit here backstage.
I'm gonna sit back and enjoy this.
I tell you what, though. I tell you what. While I don't have that one right in front of me, here's another one. As we season and we become more wise, I think we discover ourselves every day.
Bishop, I thought you was getting ready to talk about some chicken when you said season.
Listen, he told y'all. Y'all get ready. Listen, if you all have not done so, please make sure that you go ahead and you do a thumbs up on this conversation right now. Do the thumbs up on the conversation, because I don't know which way to point, but them.
Auntie. So Cutler, you can always have a poetry session and do my poem then if you want to.
Okay.
All
right.
So I didn't get the complete story. So did Bishop write you a poem or?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Sure did.
So you know how these.
I didn't get a poem.
But well, I tell you what. Let me tell you why he got a poem, Auntie.
Uh-oh.
No, because he said, "I want you to write me a poem."
Right. The Bible said you have not because you ask not, son.
That's true. Now that's true.
Auntie, Auntie, I want some dinner.
I know. I thought you was gonna bust me out and talk about the dinner that didn't happen last
It didn't happen. It's okay. I know you're busy. I know. I see your platform. I know you're busy. It's okay, Auntie.
No, but I always have time for you, though.
Okay. I'll see you next week for dinner.
Did you get your? Oh, okay, I can't ask you that, but okay. You know, you didn't share my phone call the other, my text message the other day either.
I had an order against you because I was hungry.
Oh, you did? You got offended?
Because I was hungry.
Well, you know, I don't eat anymore. How can I lose 70 pounds if I'm still eating, right? So, you know, I'm not the one to be asking nobody for no food.
We're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out. I'm gonna call you.
Smell food now. I don't eat food, I smell food.
See?
I say, listen, I'm gonna have attitude if you fix him something and don't fix me something.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well, you can come to my birthday dinner if you want. I mean, you can come to my birthday dinner with the
Oh,
poem.
when's your birthday dinner?
Auntie, look, and I'll pray. I'll say grace.
Okay. And I'll do a little dance for you.
Okay.
And a little singing.
So, Juan, you having a birthday dinner?
That's your, with you, yes.
Oh, okay.
You might invite me.
I'm about to get offended.
Oh, offendicated. I'm sorry. Offendicated.
I need somebody to invite me.
You invited to my birthday dinner. You can do the prayer in my poem.
Yup, you could do the prayer because you donated some things. You gave me some gifts, and I didn't even know you, Bishop. Not really know you.
Right.
When I brought my home, you blessed my home with gifts. And I thank you. I look at them every day. And I'm trying to, I just brought new furniture, new curtains. I didn't ask Juan's permission, so I know I'm in trouble. But I am trying to find a way to incorporate them into my new decor. I really appreciated that. That was love. Yeah. That was an extension of love. And I thank you so much. It's the small things. You've sown seeds too. So, you know, for me to do what I did for you was just an extension of the love that we have with this man in the middle. Yeah. This man in the middle is great. Is that me? I got one like that?
Huh?
Look at that face.
I heard an echo.
I don't hear
something on the two devices on?
No.
Look at her face.
That's it. You all, that look right there is priceless. You all have got to go. Listen, go to Auntie's Advice channel. That look.
I got to go, Cuddling. I saw the look. I'm going. Because, you know, she love you too. Bye, y'all. I'm going to see him once y'all enjoy.
All right.
All right.
Auntie.
Bishop. We back together again. Back together again. Hey.
Right. And you all, let me tell you this. What? With her one time, she had me reviewing these different shows and everything. But when I tell you, she and I had the best time. She even had me singing at the opening of one of those. Do you remember that?
Yes.
But I want you to tell the people about your channel and what that's all about. like they don't know you.
Gosh, what is my channel about? My channel is more than a channel, it's a family. And so I am Auntie, and my subscribers I affectionately call my nieces and nephews. So when I started YouTube, I wanted to start a community of people who will come together on one mutual ground, and that's laughter. And because of that laughter, it opens you up. When you're relaxed and relate and you release through laughter, it gives you an opportunity to be able to hear. So I review shows, different shows. And after I review those shows, I do what I call unpacking. And during that unpacking session is when I give advice about what it is that we've talked about on the channel. I use a lot of humor. I am extremely transparent. I'm always coming with vulnerability. And I cuss a little bit. So if you got tender ears, yeah. You may want to follow me on Auntie's Advice channel for women. I have 2 separate channels. One channel is dedicated to women and the issues that women go through, and the other channel is just entertainment, and that's my family. So yeah.
And you will love her. I'm telling you. You know what is interesting? No one, well, I can't say no one, people would probably not think that for me, you are providing a sort of ministry and healing to people. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about laughter and all of that, it is amazing how you do what you do. It may seem unorthodox, but it is an unorthodox in terms of what we typically think is ministry. But Auntie, when I tell you what you do is to bring healing through laughter, healing through transparency, healing through honesty, and healing through just those safe spaces in that moment, it is absolutely amazing. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this because let's see. I got this from you. Let me make sure I'm doing the right one. There you go. That's her channel. Yeah. I've never done that before now. So I get to say
moderator extraordinaire.
Absolutely.
Bishop, she loves you, Bishop.
Oh, and I absolutely love her. So Mary Grace 5, this is the very first time I have ever posted a fellow passenger's comment on the screen. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for putting that information in there so people know exactly how to find Auntie's Advice channel for women. That's the first time I did that.
Yes. And, Mary has been my moderator. I think about maybe 2.5, 3 years. I have another moderator who follows you too, and that's Raydella. Raydella is my moderator. And they have to compete usually on Thursdays. They are in your chat for the 1800 minutes, and they don't want me to go live, Bishop.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Like, oh my God, we in Bishop. We out here listening to Bishop, so they don't want me to go live at the time I'm supposed to go live because they don't want to leave out. And so one day, Mary graciously told me, I was in Bishop's channel. I was in Bishop channel when you went live, and I had to get off of Bishop to come and moderate. I suspected it was a little twang of attitude, but I kept it pushing. I kept it pushing. Get your tail on over here and get the moderating, okay? Because we have thousands of people in our chat. And I absolutely needed 2 of them. And Raydella has just joined us. She joined us, Bishop, maybe about 3 weeks now. And she is doing a phenomenal job. But Bishop, they love you. It's a competition on Thursday. So now I try to sit back and wait. Allow them the time to get the word, because by the time they come to me, they need to be cleaned up.
Well, Raydella, she's giving you your shout out. Look at there. When I tell you, I have never, I'm so excited because I've never posted these comments like this. Again, something that I learned from you. So I want to say thank you for that. I really do.
You're so welcome, Bishop. It's an honor to serve you. And
whenever people come on, they always say, Auntie sent me. Auntie sent me. Like, there are people chatting it up now. They're like, Auntie sent me, Auntie. And they're like, hi, Auntie. Hi, Bishop. So you have some absolutely wonderful family, nieces and nephews. And I want to thank you for that. I want to ask you this, though. During this year, this whole year, looking back over this year, because Auntie, who would have ever thought that we would be where we are with this? I love that expression right there. Who would have ever thought we would be where we are? And It is absolutely crazy. But I want to ask you over this year, because you said, and I cut a little bit, you did this look right here. I can't do it like you, but I want to ask you this. Off the cuff, what has made you cuss the most this past year, over the year?
What has made me cuss the most this year is the exposing that has been happening in social media.
Wow.
This year, things got in 2020, because I really do believe that 2020 didn't end until March 16th. I think
I'm with you.
Go ahead, Bishop.
No, I'm with you on that. I get you.
I think it was an extended year. And so I don't believe that I believe that this week is the first week that we've entered into 2021 for me. But I really have noticed that in 2020, that it was hindsight, and that every rock and stone that could be turned over was turned over. And so for me, it was the things that was revealed daily, and things that were uncovered daily in social media, to the point where I didn't even want to even look at Instagram. I've given up Facebook. I've been on Facebook. God, I don't know how long I've been on Facebook, but I think just the revelation of people, the revelation of things, both in our political arena, in the church, in the church, celebrities. I mean, people are being exposed, and so I think that it's just a way of just forcing people to be authentically who they are. And that's one of the things that I love doing over at Auntie's Advice. I get to be authentically who I am.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What has made you laugh the most?
My dogs.
Your dogs. Why? Tell me why. Because you love your dogs.
Now, I don't know about all that. I think that they're silly. They're standard poodles.
Okay.
And they are extremely silly. And so for me, because I work so hard during the day and work hard at night as well, they are my entertainment.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been my dogs.
I'll tell you what. Speaking of entertainment, Auntie, you know how I usually do this. I usually I'll talk about these quotes and I'll put them out there. And on Thursdays, I'll share quotes for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm going to toss out my quotes, and can I toss them out and just get your initial reaction to them?
Yes.
Can I do that? All right. Now you all. So I'm sharing quotes from this book. This is my 7th book, Billboards to Better. If you don't have it, run out to Amazon.com and get it, or you can go to my website, www.gbcutler, and it'll jump you right over to the website. Let me show you all what I've learned. I learned this stuff from the best. Or you can run to my website. Bam!
No matter what.
Or you can run over to.
Let me tell you something, Bishop. The day you got off of Zoom and opened up StreamYard, it was like I had given birth.
And you kept telling me.
I kept telling you, Bishop, get off of that Zoom.
Yes, she did. Y'all, she did. She really did. So when one evening I talked about how it doesn't matter how brief someone may be in your life. Learn to appreciate the impact that they make in that moment, because life is too short. I don't care whether we live 107 or 117 years. It's still, all things considered, a short life. And I think we should learn to appreciate people who come into our lives, no matter how long or how short they stay. And that is one of the reasons why, among many, why I appreciate you. You came in pouring your heart, pouring who you were, and you brought your full experience, and you said, no, if I can help you, I'm going to help you. So when I tell you, I listened.
Yes, you did. Yes.
I got this. I'm not going to open it, but I got this journal right here. We had a conversation one evening that I could turn to notes. You all, she gave me some advice. She took the time to mentor me. And in terms of being, let me give you this moment of inspiration just from a live situation. When people pour out of themselves into you, listen to what they have to say, accept what they have to offer. And you may not think that it's good for you in that moment, in that hour, but when it comes from a place of love, a place of wanting to see what's best for you manifest, take notes, and I promise you that it will show up one day. Because what happens in life, everything doesn't always spring forward so fast. But what happens in life is that there are some people who will come by and drop a seed. Others will come by and water. And we never know who the seed planters are and who the waterers are in our life. So be thankful for all of them. And so by opening that notebook, because here we go, Auntie. You open your heart and I open my notebook.
And you know what, though, Bishop? One of the things that came to me while you were talking, for me, you were not a cup with a hole in it. You allowed me to pour my life, my YouTube experience, my YouTube revelations, and you held it. And you didn't have a hole. You didn't let any of it seep out. You didn't. You were just thirsty for it. And so when I began to pour that knowledge into, because nobody helped me with YouTube. Nobody helped me with YouTube. And I've always been an island unto myself on YouTube. Now I know a lot of people, but as far as YouTube is concerned, I've always been by myself. And I wanted to be an empty cup with no hole. And for me, you were that. And as soon as I will be able to, I will give you things, you would bring that notebook out. Wait a minute, hold on, Auntie. I got to write my notes down. And so it allowed me to pour more and to pour more, because you not only received the water or the information, but you drank it, you consumed it. And so, you know what, Bishop, every time I came to you, you had another empty cup. Yeah. And so it's easy to pour into somebody like you. Just so it's an honor to serve you and to serve with you. It's an honor to carry your dream. My moderators will tell you, especially Mary, we are strategically trying to push this channel. Strategically, we want this channel to grow. We are so attached to you. And you know what, Bishop? I didn't even have to push you down their throat. I didn't have to push any of my members who have come to you. I put it on my community wall. And you, not me, and not on the strength of me, you are drawing those people in. And I told you what I believe God is going to do with this channel. And I think that you're going to far exceed what I have. And I'm telling you right now, I'll be pushing it. I'll be pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And they're pushing it and pushing it. And I thank them because they have partnered up with me without me asking them to see you be successful.
Here's your confirmation. I'm learning. And in fact, listen, passengers and those of you who are here this evening, if you are here because Auntie sent you over, please put it in the chat, because I want to just really thank her. So if you all post that, I'm going to try to flash you up on the screen. All right. Meanwhile, let's see. Does that one look familiar?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is that CJ? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You got to put your glasses on slow. Yes. Hi, CJ. Hey, boo.
All right. Does this one look familiar?
Yes. Oh, my God.
And of course,
Auntie is how I found you. They be rooting for you. I'm telling you.
Okay,
telling
what
you.
about this one?
Oh, you are blessed with the greatest force around you. I'm smiling inside. Hi, Mika G. Well, you know, Bishop.
I am so thankful. I am so very very thankful. But I do want to because Mika G, she just put that, she said yes, Auntie. She said yes, Auntie sent. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you all. I want to throw this quote your way. I want to do that. This was a quote from March 24th, taken out of this book right here. Out of this book, it says, "Walk as one who has been called, not as one who has been condemned." Walk as one who has been called, not as one who has been condemned. And so you want to give some thought to that one, Auntie? Walk as one who has been called, not as one who has been condemned.
I feel very emotional. Bishop, the reason why I started my YouTube channel was because of condemnation. And actually I was called to it. And that right there is confirmation for me in what I do. I had to walk as one who was called to a bigger audience, to a greater calling. And if I had not gone through what I went through in my church life, in my social life, I would have still felt condemned.
Oh.
But
wow.
And so God has now given me a bigger audience, a bigger platform where I'm no longer condemned, but walking in my calling.
Wow.
Talking to thousands, having emails, so many emails. I need to hire an assistant.
Say that for the people in the back room.
Okay. I really need an assistant, Bishop, if you looking for a part-time job. But anyway, but I need somebody that has my same heart and has my same vision. So, but that is why I started YouTube 4 years ago, 4.5, almost 5 years ago, because of the things that the enemy had told me, and the things that I went through. I was struggling in so many different areas, and I felt misunderstood, and there were some things that happened that I know, were weapons that were formed against me, that the enemy meant to harm me, to tear me down, to assassinate me, if you will.
Yeah.
But God said, no, 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 no. My hand is on her. And no weapon that's formed against her is ever going to prosper. And every tongue that rises itself against me, it has been condemned. Because guess what, Bishop? That's been my inheritance.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I think one of the things that we often try
to have to send me that, okay? Can you text that to me? I need to put that on my vision board, Bishop. Like, that touched me right here.
Yeah. But you and I both are strong on this, because I know we're always, one of the things that we both try to do is to remind people of their calling and their character, and not to walk in condemnation, because we try to remind people. I know that we both do, about the power. So if I had an offering, what I would offer this evening is the power of forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness. That is the thing I'd probably offer this evening, Auntie, to all of us, is the power of self-forgiveness, because sometimes we can be our own worst critics. We can be our most harsh judge, but there is so much freedom in in self-forgiveness because it gives us the opportunity to step outside of that guilt and outside of that shame. And so when we step outside of guilt and shame, it gives us the chance to step inside of purpose and destiny.
Yes, Bishop. Preach, Bishop.
And I try not to do that, but every time she and I get together, that's what happens, because I'm telling you, to walk like, it gives us a chance to walk like we realize that we know we have purpose, to know that we have integrity, to know that we have character, and to walk like we know. And we talk about on this highway, this billboards to better, but to walk like we know that better is possible. And that is when we accept the offering of self-forgiveness. Yeah.
And you know what, Bishop? I'm gonna tell you one of the things that is going to that overwhelmed me in a good way. When your heart is overwhelmed. Yeah. Bishop, don't you got a book called When Your Heart is Overwhelmed? That's the one I brought from you.
This is the one. You have this one.
Bishop!
This is the one that you have.
Bishop, that's the one that I got. But I'm going to tell you, when the love started coming in, and I'm talking about genuine love, started coming in from my subscribers, my nieces and nephews. Bishop, I didn't even know how to take it. You know why? Because all the love that came in to me was attached to my purpose. It's different when you get love when you're walking in your purpose.
Yeah.
It overwhelmed me, Bishop.
Yeah.
It overwhelmed me because you don't know love at that magnitude.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna tell you right now, I see that for you. I see that for you, Bishop. I'm telling you, I see that for you. And I mean, you're gonna make me bust out into a song. I'm trying.
Go ahead, Auntie, sing.
Bishop, I see that for you, and I'm telling you, it's going to because these are people that you have never touched, you've never seen in person. The only thing that they're coming to you for is what's coming out of your mouth.
Wow.
And the words that are coming out of your mouth are powerful. So when you get those that network of people who are following you because of what you're saying, that's a genuine following. That's not somebody wanting to get something out of you. You understand what I'm saying, Bishop?
I do.
And when you start seeing the numbers starting to grow, because I mean, boy, are we growing over at Auntie's advice, okay?
No, you got to get it.
Okay. When you start seeing those numbers grow, you start feeling the responsibility.
Yeah.
For those people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a greater responsibility for what it is that you do. I'm due to I can't say where I work at and what I do for a living, right, that kind of stuff. But I'm eligible to retire this year.
Wow.
And this is something I'm going to be doing full time. I see myself doing it absolutely full time.
And some of my folk in the chat that I'm sure that you've never met, have never seen, this is what they're saying about you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Thank you.
But that's it is offering people hope. It is offering people hope. I want to give you another quote, because I love what you just did with that one. So I want to toss this one. This one is the one for today, March 25th. Do I want to? Yeah, okay, I'll do it. It says, be very careful with trying to make an assessment about the presence of God in the lives of other people. Be very careful with I already see it. Be very careful with trying to make an assessment about the presence of God in the lives of other people. And Auntie, before you take off, and I'll tell you, the backdrop to this one for me was reminding people that when we don't want to do to people what we don't want them to do to us. And we don't want people to try to determine how valuable we are. You don't get a chance to determine how valuable I am if you're not a part of my life. If we work together, walk together, have relationship, that's one thing. But when you're outside of my life, you don't get to try to tell me, you don't get to invalidate me or to tell me how valuable, how invaluable, or how unvaluable I may be, because it's like looking.
Bishop,
Auntie, I'm going somewhere with this one because it's like looking inside an eggshell. From the outside, I look stale, I look like I'm still, and I look like I'm not moving. But you don't see that life is growing inside the eggshell. When you're outside of my life, you don't get the chance to invalidate me. Not at all. And I'm going to try to calm down, but one of the things that has even happened in the midst of this pandemic, and you all be encouraged, even in the midst of this pandemic, if there are people outside of your life, don't let them invalidate who you are. They don't get the chance to do that, because while we've been inside behind these closed doors, if I call the COVID pandemic nothing else, I call it the time of miracles behind closed doors. People don't get to invalidate you. They don't get to invalidate you. Not, Auntie, I'm sorry I went off.
No, Bishop, keep on, because you feed my soul. I tell you, I got a river flowing in my stomach.
But that's what it is. So I caution people, be very careful about trying to make an assessment about how much God is in their life and how much God is on their life. No, you don't get a chance to determine that. You don't get the chance to determine that, because you're not inside that eggshell with me. You're not behind closed doors with me. Absolutely not. So you all be encouraged. When you know what is in your life, you know the value that you possess, you know what the Creator has poured inside of you. Don't ever be ashamed of it. Look at yourself in the mirror every day and you say, I got gifts and talents that are just overpouring and overflowing. Look, that's right. Look yourself in the mirror and say, these gifts are overflowing, these talents are overflowing. And don't let anybody invalidate you.
That's so good, because Bishop, over my channel, I cuss. I guess to cussing and everything. I be making a valid point now.
Yeah.
If you're looking on the outside and you're looking at that, it seems like I ain't got no Jesus. That you understand? You don't get to validate my relationship with him.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good, because you're speaking to me and you're speaking. Because I love me, God. I love God.
Yes. Yeah.
And it has caused me to not judge other people.
That's right.
It really has. And it's caused me to go into places where I wouldn't have went before, because I was judging. I was looking at the outside of the person and thinking, golly, I mean, this is a little raunchy. But a
little what?
A little raunchy.
Raunchy.
Just straight nasty, dirty.
Right.
Okay, with the hand like that. But now, Bishop, I go to places and I listen to people that I would have never listened to before. Because you know what? God can use anybody that makes themselves available.
Anybody.
And I can't judge how God uses that. Mm-hmm. There's going to be some people who going to have to go in the crack house. Ain't going to be me, but some people going to have the tenacity and the audacity to go into a crack house.
Yeah.
Some people going to have to go out there with the homeless people and do that on a regular basis. Ain't going to be me.
Right.
And I can't judge your walk or judge your what word is that I want to say. I can't judge the way that you get there.
Right.
I can't judge your path, because there's going to be some people, Bishop, that listen to me that ain't going to never listen to you.
That's right. That's
and
exactly right. And
there's going to be some people that listen to you that ain't going to never listen to me.
Right.
But when I look at my numbers, on average, I'm reaching what 12, 15,000 people a day. Some
A day.
pastors, preachers, evangelists, they'll never reach that many people.
That's right. That's
never.
right. That's
Never.
right. Yeah.
Okay? So God uses us all in different ways. And
one evening, Auntie, I remember joining one of your shows, and you were talking about being a shepherd and how you were committed to making sure that you did right by your nieces and your nephews, because I think at that point maybe someone had tried to attach themselves and tried to say, wait, well, I want you to do this, or I need you to do that.
Yeah.
And you said, I can't be manipulated, you all, because I'm here for a purpose. And as a shepherd, I'm here to watch out for the sheep. Now, you love your nieces and nephews. And you said, you all, I can't let that happen. And I'm not going to let people poison you all either. And I listened to that and I thought, wow, sheep all over the place. And you know what? I thought of a scripture that says, I have other sheep that are not of this fold. They don't necessarily look like these sheep. They don't necessarily smell like these sheep. They don't necessarily walk like these sheep. But the saying, I have other sheep that are not of this fold. So that means there's lots of folds. But them too must I bring. It's important for them. Auntie, we ain't gonna do this.
But I'm gonna tell
everybody needs.
I'm gonna tell you what brings me the most joy is when I have subscribers, my nieces and my nephews, to reach out to me about family dysfunction. And we chat, either by phone or by email, or by Instagram DM, and to see those families come back and be whole again. And then they reach out to me and say, Auntie, like I had one lady that was really going through some things. And I got so many stories, but I want to share this one. And she didn't know how to love again. And, you know, I'm single. You know, I will bust a mofo in the head, right? So, you know, I'm by myself. I'm by myself because, you know, I ain't been delivered from that busting a mofo in the head spirit.
Okay.
So I'm by
Mama, I'll tell you what that means later.
But I still know how to love, though. You know what I'm saying? So she reached out to me and she was going through some things, and there was a man that was coming into her life. And because she had been through so many different things, she couldn't trust. And so I prayed about it. And usually when I get emails that are like really, really deep, it takes me days sometimes to get back to them, because I want to make sure that I'm not bringing myself to the table. Because I understand that my purpose is bigger than me and my thoughts, because my thoughts are lower than his thoughts. My ways are lower than his. So if I'm coming, I might come with some gutter stuff, and that may not be what you need. So I usually take maybe about 4 or 5 days to get back to a person. So during that time of me thinking about her, I just started jotting off things that was coming to my spirit, right? My mind. I say my spirit, my mind, same thing. And so I said, you know what? I wrote down these things. I said, sweetie, this is what I need you to do. I need you to do bloom, boom, bloom, boom, bloom, boom, bloom, boom. I think I gave her like 5 or 7 things for her to do. She said, okay, Auntie. I did not hear from her for a whole year. When I did hear from her, she sent me her wedding pictures. They flew to Africa and got married. Their wedding pictures were gorgeous. She said, Auntie, my husband thanks me every day for being connected to you. Bishop, I said, girl, you look beautiful, girl. But it really is. And I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to get that first email. I'm telling you, it's going to overwhelm your heart. You're not going to be ready. I don't care how prepared you think because it's different when we touch people around us.
Yeah.
Or who are familiar with us. or who are unfamiliar with us because of our separation. You know, we don't bunk with each other anymore.
Right.
But it's different when you have that than when you have somebody who you never will probably ever meet in the flesh in your life.
Yeah.
Because see, we haven't met God in the flesh.
Right.
We are the flesh of God. We are the yield signs, the stop signs, the merge signs. We are that. So even though I cuss you out, I will still lead you, merge you, yield you, stop you. I'm going to be that sign for him. It's just going to come a different way. It ain't going to come the way you think it's going to come. And that's why I say, you know, the people that I reach, some of them find themselves connected to you because they see the bridge.
That's right.
They're spiritual enough to see the bridge.
Yes.
Even though we're totally opposite, our platforms are different, there's a bridge.
Yeah.
On this highway.
On the highway. As you would say, on the highway.
Okay.
I love that.
Bishop, on the highway, you and I are a bridge.
Yeah.
But we serve the same purpose. You got the billboards on the highway. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And so why our platforms are so different, the goal is to lead you back to him.
Yeah.
By any means necessary. So when I be talking about them 600-pound light people,
y'all listen, and let me just tell you something. And I mean, she, as I would say in the country, I mean, she does a piece of talking about them too. Do you hear me? But I want to thank you. Y'all keep sharing this because, you know, usually I'm here for 1,800 seconds, but this is just 1 year anniversary. So
that's right.
So stick around. Now, Auntie, I want to show you something. You are not going to believe what I'm going to show you next. I want to put this on the screen. So keep your glasses on the screen. And you don't even have to guess who this individual is when you see this name.
Thank you, Mama. I was so worried, Mama.
Yes, she was.
I was so worried because I always want to be respectful. Thank you, Mama. That means you don't know how much. I ain't gonna, Bishop, you ain't gonna have me sit up here crying off these fake eyelashes. This one right here, I'm telling you right now, it's having all kinds of seizures. I just want to take the thing and just rip it off and look like a one-eyed bandit out here. But I ain't gonna do that.
Don't do that. Don't you do that. Don't do it.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God, that means so much. Oh, so nervous. Wasn't I, Bishop?
Very, very nervous. I'm like, oh, you know, his mother's there. His mother's out there. And I want to pause. Y'all stick around. We're not. I want you all to stay here, because as I celebrate this year, this milestone being here, I can't help but celebrate my mother as well.
Yes.
Yeah, some of you all were with me before I came to this platform. I think I was just on Facebook and on Zoom and all of those. And my mother has jumped on social media, and this pandemic has caused her to follow. And I absolutely could not have made it successfully through this year, through this life, and this pandemic without her prayers and without her support. So you all hang on. I'm going to show you a snippet, a snippet of my mother and just who she is. And what I'm going to do is share it from when we did a surprise on camera, on screen, on social media birthday for her. So let me just share that with you all for a quick second.
Put your glasses on. Wait a minute.
Put your glasses on. You got them on? All right. This is just a quick honor of my mom.
And we have cake because mama. And that's what we do. That's what we do. It'll be a late night snack. I promise you. It'll be a late night snack, early morning snack, any kind of snack. But what I want us to do, let's talk to Cutler followers and virtual book club members, thank you all so much for joining. You know, we have been taking a look at book number, this is my 5th book. We don't always get it right the first time. Again, it's available on www.gbcutler.com. We've been looking at this book, talking about it, looking at lessons for the next generation. And of course, I'm excited to announce that my latest book, book number 7, was just released. But, you know, Mama, so typically I would go through these lessons, because one of the lessons is make sure that you're clean and all of that. That is next lesson. But since I'm here with you as my co-host, I tell you what I want to do. 4th of July is your birthday. 4th of July is your birthday. And can I tell on this screen how old you're turning? Can I tell your age?
Yes.
Yeah, because you all heard it say 1 decade and a half. So yeah, so my mother is turning 75 years old. Can you all show some hearts, love, thumbs up, and all that kind of stuff? When I tell you that, well, isn't she a pretty somebody?
Yes!
I have always thought my mother was absolutely beautiful. Instead of going through the lessons and doing the book review, what I wanted to do, to be honest, I had planned this I planned an extravagant banquet for you, but with COVID, you know, the quarantine, all that kind of stuff, we had to cancel. So I never told you that. But it was a humongous banquet that we had planned. I mean, I'll show you some of the invitations that went out and all that kind of stuff later on. But so you all, I'm just telling the lie for the first time that we had planned this and we had to cancel. But so if y'all can do the sad face emojis, put the sad face emojis up there. But God.
And it was that point right there, Auntie, so this whole year, it would not have necessarily turned out the way it did, but God, through my mom, but God, and so many other people. So, Mom, thank you. I wanted to pay respect to her. And people are putting, yes, you are beautiful and all of that. But that is my heartthrob.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so, Mama. That man loved you, Mama.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all of the lessons that I share is because in one way or another, she has poured those into me. Speaking of lesson, I want to throw one more quote your way, Auntie.
She's beautiful. Your mama is beautiful.
Thank you. But
you know, Bishop. Ladies, if y'all ain't never met Bishop is a tall, and I mean when I say a tall drink of water, boo. Okay, are you okay, Bishop? Hey, you're drinking all day, boo. Okay, y'all ladies know what I'm talking about. Excuse me, Mom. Excuse me, Mom. Honey, I'm talking about when Bishop come, I be like this.
Oh my God.
You know, you get a little deaf and dumb when he come around. You know, you hang, you know, how you doing, master? Little slub coming all out the side of your mouth and everything. You're like, okay. Then when he leave, you're like, oh, man.
You are a mess. I'm going to get you. You are a mess. A hot mess. I'm going to get you. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. That is funny to me.
I'm not kidding, ladies. Bishop, how tall are you?
6'4". I'm going to take let me just
You got your iced tea, Bishop.
Got to.
Okay. All right, come on with the quote.
I want to throw this quote at you. Y'all, because Auntie, when I open this program up, this to tonight, I asked people, had they ever been told, has anybody ever said to them, go to hell? And I know that caught somebody off guard. And if it was unprecedented for them to hear me say that, but I know sometimes we hear that. So now hang on to that and take this quote. Ray Della said that you're paying me back for that night when I was on your channel getting that super chat, remember? And I started. You're right. You're right. She's getting me back for what I started that. But sometimes you all, people tell us to go to hell. And I'm gonna read the quote first, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to it. This quote says, "Stay out of the hell that others create for themselves." Stay out of the hell that others create for themselves, because really we're called to sit in heavenly places. But the quote says, "Stay out of the hell that others create for themselves."
Wow.
Because I could go on and on about that. Because people, Auntie, and we know it's true, people will create a hell for themselves and then expect you to come and put out the flames. But when I wrote this, it reminded me of the fact that you don't get to create a hell and then expect me to come. You don't get to create a circus and expect me to come and be your clown. Because it's not gonna happen.
Say that again.
You don't create a hell and expect me to come and put out the flames, and you don't get to create a circus and expect me to come and be your clown. You just don't.
Bishop,
because
you ain't got a wig on, because I would have snatched that mofo off by now. You lucky I ain't got my old wig on, my old gray wig. I would have been a snatched that off. I'm thinking now what I can snatch off real quick. It don't offend nobody.
But it is true.
That is so true.
Right? It's true. And I've been through enough foolishness, enough hellish situations in my own life, enough to last a lifetime. And what I understand is that and Auntie, if I could be transparent, that's why I love your transparency, because I realize that not all of my hellish situations were caused by other people. Some I caused myself. But the one thing that I can say is this, you all, we have talk about trying to challenge us to save somebody's life. You all, we have all got to learn how to change the temperatures in our own lives. Sometimes it becomes so hot in our own lives until it feels like hell. But you all, here's another offering. Learn how to change the temperature in your own life. When it gets so hot, and people say it's hot as hell, but when it gets that hot in your own life, learn how to walk to the thermostat and turn it down. That means change the temperature. One of my cousins, and I don't know if she's watching, but one of the things, Auntie, that she said, she used to post on social media talking about changing the temperature. She said, "I've made some changes. And if you don't hear from me, you're one of the changes I made." No, you didn't.
It just happened to be sitting there because my friend had it. But I had to put that on just to snatch that off. Yeah. Bishop, that's so good. And you know what the thing about it is? You are teaching and giving inspiration, causing things to change in me and other people, and you ain't ramming a whole bunch of scripture down my throat. It's so practical.
Wow.
It's so, I mean, the things, the quotes and stuff that you're giving, the foundation of it is the word, but the way you putting it on a platter, wow, is edible. You can apply it. It's applicable to your everyday life. You better, Bishop.
Well, yeah.
And you know what? In this day and time, with all the book that everybody's seeing, that's what you need. Something that's digestible, because there's so much crap that's going on. Yeah. And it's overwhelming, and you need something, just a little small bite of something.
Wow.
When you famished, you don't need a real big meal. You just need a little small bite of a swallow of something.
Wow.
And that what you did, those quotes and stuff like that. Remember the other day when you was out here, was that last week? And I said, Bishop, I wanted you to expound on that thing, but you stayed to your 1800 seconds. And I just was like, Bishop, did I text you or call you, Bishop?
Both. You did both. You did both.
That right there is so edible.
Wow.
Oh,
I have to thank you. That people agree with you.
yes. Bishop, I think you starting to like that little button, ain't you?
I like that. I'm learning how to do it. Yeah.
Bishop, that is just wow. Like I have so enjoyed this. I did not have any idea that I was going to come out here and get fed.
Wow.
I appreciate you. One of the things that I've learned, one of the greatest takeaways that I have learned in during this pandemic is how much I value my peace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How much I value it. It is so precious and dear to me. I will fight you to maintain my peace.
My peace.
And I will, and I need that quote too. So make sure you text all of them to me. That quote, which she said, "I'm making a change, and if you don't hear from me,
You're one of them."
You're one of them.
Wow. And I know we can't stay on all night and celebrate, but
I can hang. I be doing videos 12 midnight.
Okay, I tell you what. So because I want to do something as I pay tribute to my mom. Many of you know that during the course of the year, my dad passed.
Yeah.
And that my dad passed, and that was difficult, and it remains difficult. But Auntie, a couple nights ago, Ernest Pugh was on. And
I saw him. Yes, you did. Good.
And he asked me if I would talk about a portion of the eulogy. I did my father's eulogy, you all. And it's interesting. The producers had asked me if I would consider sharing that. Wow. So I want you to sit in this space with me while I do that. I always give respect to my mom, and in this point, I want to honor my dad. So so you all hang on, because this makes me very emotional. It takes me to a space, but I'm going to lean on the strength of my good friend Auntie, who's here. But I want to share with you all my last opportunity to pay tribute to my dad as I did his eulogy. And it's just maybe 1 minute of it, all right? It's not a lot. I want to go to the 23rd Psalm and just lift up one verse, verse 1. And it reads, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Let me read that A clause again. The Lord is my shepherd. Let me read that clause without what we call a predicate nominative, and it says, the Lord is. And so for the next few moments, I want to deliver this eulogistic sermon, and I want to use as a subject to honor my father. While David said the Lord is, the subject of this sermon is God still is. So in this first verse, David declares that God is the very thing that I am yet trying to be. David said, the Lord is my shepherd. You do know that David himself was a shepherd, but David said that God is the thing to me that I'm trying to be to somebody else. My father understood that he had a calling on his life to be to some other people the very thing that God had been to him. Surely God had been a provider for him. God had been a way maker for him. God had been the one who opened doors. So Daddy understood the call and the responsibility on his life then to be a way maker for somebody else and to be a provider for somebody else. So like David,
My father understood that I'm trying to be to somebody else the thing that God has been to me. You understand that David said, not only is God the shepherd, but David said, I've got relationship with him and he is my shepherd. David said, my relationship with him is so unique until he's teaching me how to become the thing that he has called me to be. May I eulogize my father and remind you that before he left this body, Daddy had relationship with God. His relationship may not have looked like yours, and it may not have looked like mine. Daddy didn't dot every I, cross every T, and neither did you. But he had relationship, and he took comfort in the fact that God still is. Daddy understood God still is my shepherd, and our father understood that God is still working on me, and God is still hearing and answering my prayer. God is still holding it together until I get it together. God is still making ways out of no ways. God is still, my daddy understood God is still working miracles. God is giving me brand new mercies every day. Daddy understood God still is.
Wow, Bishop. Wow.
Yeah. So I share that because you know when we have to be transparent, it's interesting how people who just send comments and they'll say things when they're chatting, they have no idea how that one moment will lift. And each time when I would share about my dad and people would say, hey, praying for you, or we hope that you know you're going to be fine, and those sorts of things. Every comment helped. Every single comment helped. And so you all, I shared that because while I was actually in the throes of my father's passing, you all were so gracious. And you were kind. And I'm going to take a sip of tea. Yeah.
It's okay.
But you were gracious and you were kind, and all of those comments, everything helped. And I wanted to share that out of such a place to let you know how much I really, really thank you. Auntie, you called me, you checked on me, you did all of that. You walked through this with me. So yes, while you were there and you helped me with the YouTube stuff, you helped me in that moment too. So I wanted to say thank you for that. I want to say thank you.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet. And it's like I said, it's an honor. It's an honor. You don't know. It's really an honor. And I thank God for Juan connecting us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it truly has been a divine connection. And I just want to remind you, Bishop, that you haven't helped me with my book.
It's on the way. It's coming. It's on the way.
I'm gonna tell your mother.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
I was looking for my homework assignment. I said, Bishop ain't sent me my homework assignment yet. He must be real busy.
That's all right. Okay? You're right.
Are you okay?
You know, ask me again, Auntie. Ask me again.
Are you okay? But you know, everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
No. Okay. So you can you sing something? Can you sing something? Because I know I'm putting your spot. Y'all, she can sing. If you sing, I'll promise you I'll close out by doing a poem.
Okay, I'm gonna dedicate.
If you sing, I'll do a poem.
Okay, I'm gonna dedicate this to you. Okay. I probably should bring up the lyrics because I will mess up a song. But anyway, I'm gonna sing it. I've had my share of life's ups and downs, but fate's been kind. The downs have been few. Well, I guess you could say that we've been lucky. Hey, I guess you could say That is all because of you. Come on, Bishop, sing. If anyone should ever write our life story, hey, oh, for whatever reason there might be, oh, you'll be there between each line and page in glory. 'Cause you're the best thing that's ever happened to me.
You all, listen, if you all have not clicked a thumbs up yet, I need you all to click those thumbs up now. Listen, put your glasses on. Put your glasses on. Because yes, ma'am. Let me just start this way, because they're going, yes, Auntie can sing. Somebody said, yes, I had a feeling Auntie could sing. And then one person said, please sing. Yes, ma'am. Listen, you see this? Beautiful. They're clapping.
Thank you. Okay.
They love you.
Thank you.
You did your good singing. You did your good singing.
That was for you, Bishop. If anybody could tell your life story, all those pages, and I ain't talking about the pages of them books, I'm talking about the pages of your heart.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're just a really good man, Bishop. And I'm honored to be your friend. I'm honored to call you friend. And like I said, I can't thank Juan, I sometimes I be thinking I'm gonna put him down for you.
Right.
But I've been knowing, him for over 40 years. And it's all about divine connections. My old pastor used to always talk about divine connections, being divinely connected to people. And I'm telling you right now, you blessed when you came onto my channel and you had you stepped out of your comfort zone.
I did.
When you did those reviews with me. But you allowed me to be me. But you were still you.
Yeah.
You still maintained who you were. But you blessed so many people over on my channel. I've been trying to think of an excuse for you to come back. and it's so wild because with this YouTube thing, moving from Facebook to YouTube, it's daring, it's scary, it's complicated. Yes. You put yourself on a public platform to be judged and ridiculed and celebrated too. But this was a big leap. And then you taking baby steps. But the reward at the end is going to be fit for a giant. Because
Hold on. You're not going to do it. I got to take a drink of water. Hold on. Let me just say this. You all, and I'm just saying this, you've taken baby steps, but the reward is going to be fit for a giant. I had to say that because I'm going to replay this. Go ahead. I'm going to replay this. Auntie, I'm going to frame that with you saying it. You have no idea what that was. You have no idea what that was you just said.
That was God. I'm going to tell you right now, because I ain't never said nothing like that about my life. You know that.
I will always remember that. You're taking baby steps, but the reward is going to be fit for a giant.
I'm telling you, because you, like I said, you've never been a cup with a hole in it. You've never been a cup with a hole in it. And there's so many people in our lives, especially in the line of business of what you do, who you talk to in circles till you can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
Never take any of your advice, but always seeking it. You know, for me, I just be like, let me tell you something. Don't come back to me no more. Because I'm not a one size fits all. No, seriously, I'm not. If I feel like you're not teachable, then I'm not going to keep on pouring liquid in you and it's just running out on the floor. I'm wasting my time. You know, we have the oil of the anointing on our voices. And so when we speak, it's just not words that should be thrown away. And then you come back, you keep coming back to the well because you're always thirsty, because you got a hole in your cup. Wow. And some people got holes in their cup on purpose. They don't really want to hear what you have to say. They just want to speak, Bishop. They just want to talk. Don't come. I'm not going to do it with you, right? But you know, you're a bishop, so you know you have to keep doing it over and over. But for me, I've learned in my old age, because you know, Bishop, I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. Okay.
Me too.
Okay. But we do good, don't we, Bishop?
Yes.
Are we doing it? We're doing it. I'm living some of the best years of my life. Being this age, because I've really come into who I am. And I really come into accepting who I am, flaws and cotton freaking all.
And that's what we're sharing. That's what we're sharing with the world. How to embrace who you, not walking in condemnation, but to walk in your calling. I posted the other day, Auntie, I posted something that says, my character is imprisoned whenever I don't have clarity about who I am.
Oh my goodness.
My character is imprisoned whenever I don't have clarity about who I am. And I think for you and me, it's one of those things of realizing you have no idea how powerful and freeing and liberating it is to discover who you are. And not to have your character try to impersonate anybody else's. Because when that happens, sometimes we lose ourselves in other situations and people, and we don't get the chance to find us again. But then we're thankful for grace. Auntie, I want to do something because you're here. And you also, I want to sort of wrap this up by sharing a poem, because you asked me the other day about that poem that I didn't read, but I have another one that I want to share with you this evening. And I will say to all of you all once again, thank you so very much for sharing this time, for sharing this space, and making
Bishop, you ain't never talked this long on your channel.
Never. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but I'm so thankful. I really am. And I'm going to do two poems. I'm going to do this one. This is a short, quick one. It says, simply put. This is one that says, simply put. And it comes from I know, Mama, you're going to get me for this, because this is my second book. This is my second book. And it says, simply put. I think that I think best when I don't think at all. Mm. It's like walking is for some who naturally walk tall. I do what I do best when I'm doing it on my own. It's like living is for those who live all alone. I am where I am now in spite of all the rest. And I'll get where I'm going because I'm giving it my best. And that's simply put.
Wow.
And that's one, you all, that I offer you all. We give it your best, and we're getting there. Auntie, this one is for you. And you can take the reins, and I'm gonna give you the reins, and you can.
I ain't taking no reins. I'm sitting over here drinking. I ain't taking. Go ahead. Go give me that poem.
All right. This one is called "If You Were to Ask Me," and these are all published, you all. So if you go to hang on. If you go to my website, you said I like pushing these buttons. If you go to my website, you will see all of my books, and There's 7 of them, all except one. They're available on Amazon.com. So please go there, and it will be a great, happy anniversary celebration gift for you all to tell me that, hey, I got your book. I got your book. But from this book, I want to read this poem. It's called If You Were to Ask Me What I'm Thinking. Mm-hmm. That's the name of it. If you were to ask me what I'm thinking. If you were to ask me what I'm thinking, I would say, what does not compare with where, why, with where, when, and why. I'm thinking here, now, and just because I can. I do think that miracles still come true. I'm thinking that moments are magical and peace is possible. I stand on hope out of nowhere, and still nothing can compare, because I'm thinking that I can be better and stronger, hold on just a little longer, go a lot faster. Disaster is not in my view, because I'm thinking of you. If you were to ask me what I'm thinking, I would say, stop, sit, rest, and smile. Hear me while I say, I believe in courage and soul, staying young and growing old. I'm thinking of love that will always last, friends who will never pass, forever within my thoughts, whistling and humming at night. I'm thinking of never doing wrong, forever doing right. Yeah, right. I'm thinking of truth, heaven and hell. I'm thinking of pain that no one can ever tell. No one would believe the kind of heartache to achieve what I'm thinking. If you were to ask me what I'm thinking, I would say, look into my eyes where my passion lies. If you were to ask me what I'm thinking, I would say, listen with your heart. That's it, Auntie.
Go ahead and expound on that just for a second, Bishop.
One of the when I wrote this, I realized that people connect with us for various reasons, and they want to get to know us. But knowing means that it has to be more than superficial. It means that you have to take the time to look inside and see and hear and experience. So when I say knowing people, knowing means to experience them. And one of the things that I got from my mother has always said to me, make sure you take the time to get to know people who come into your life. Because no matter how long or how short they are there, you are responsible for being a good steward over every single life that God allows to cross your path. And then give them the opportunity to know who you are, so that when they leave, they will know truly who they experienced. And if they're going to know who they experienced, the only way that they can know. So I wrote that poem to say, if you want to experience me, you can't look on the exterior, but you've got to listen with your heart. And so when I said, if you ask me what I'm thinking, I could tell you I'm thinking so many things. And the only way to really get to know that is to look beyond this and to listen with your heart. Yeah. So you all, we are all brothers and sisters in this thing that is called humanity. And it is, I think, it is an insult to whatever you choose to call the creator. It is an insult not to pay attention to creation.
Wow.
And it is an insult to disregard each other as not being a valuable part of creation. We are all equally valuable. And we belong here. There's a poem called Desiderata, and it talks about the noise in the trees. And it says, I have a right to be here. I am no less than the trees.
What's that poem is that?
Desiderata. I'll send it to you.
That one to me too.
Yeah. But it talks about how we all have a right to be here. And much of my poetry reflects that it was me growing and understanding that there is some value that I have to appreciate about me. And while appreciating that value about me, I also have to see that it is reflected in my brothers and my sisters in this thing that we call the human experience.
You know what that reminds me of when you just said that? Let me see. Real quick. I'll be right there, just real quick.
That's okay. Take your time. You're gonna make me read this one poem that's gonna trip you up. Do you all want to hear me read one more? But make sure while Auntie is looking for something, you all make sure if you haven't, make sure that you share this channel, subscribe, click on the notification bell, comment, get this book. This book will do you good. All these daily sources of motivation. And one day, I think what I want to do is just to have a lot of you come on and put your birthday, your month and day in the chat, and I'll just flip to your birthday, and we can read the quote for your particular birthday, and we can chit chat about that. All right.
You know, when you read that poem, and you talked about how I have a right to be here.
Yeah.
And I thought of this song, and I'm just going to sing one bar of it. That's it. Oh, Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thou hands have made, I see the stars and I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. That poem made me think of just this big universe, all the trees and the rivers and all of that God has made, the stars in the sky. Oh, I'm trying not to go to church. And then he made me.
And then he made me.
And I'm just as significant as the stars that people fall in love under, as the trees that blow, that houses the birds, the sparrow that he watches in the morning. Yeah. And make sure they have food. I'm just as significant as the huge whales and manatees in the seas, the wonders of the icebergs and the volcanoes that erupt. I'm just as significant. Though you may never see me. Some people may never ever meet me, but I am just as significant. Oh my goodness. Bishop, I'm gonna have to go to church after I get off of here, okay?
so
that poem, it just brought that out. Oh.
Do you see that?
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Oh,
you are simply amazing. And I am so honored. I am so honored to have you as a part of this celebration.
I'm so glad you asked me to do this. Thank you, Bishop.
Yeah, I'm so very thankful. I'm so honored by this. And I'm going to tell you, I get a chance to tell you like you've told me. So you hang around. You don't you leave anywhere. Don't you go anywhere. So when we go off the broadcast, we'll chit chat backstage. But I want to say to all those of you who watch me from from and because of Auntie. Thank you so much. I often say to you, I'm going to tell that you all were here. And I honestly don't always get a chance to tell it one by one, but thank you all for heeding her advice and coming over and just peeping in and checking out her friend and brother. I appreciate that so much. I ask that if you do me a favor and if you can share this with somebody, I'd greatly appreciate it. And for those who started with me and who are still here, thank you all so much. And so for everybody tonight, wherever you have allowed us to come into your space, thank you so very much for that. And as I always say, let's continue building community, maintaining connectivity, keep your heads up, but more than that, keep your hopes up. And we're working our way through this pandemic, so you all stay safe and stay sane, and we're going to get through this. So just know from my heart to yours, there's much love. Auntie, anything you want to say before we say goodnight to them? All right, so we're going to stay behind the scenes. Jay Song, you can come back, use that link and come back, and we're going to all chat. But you all, again, thank you. Join me here. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Join me. I'll see you all. Love you all so much. Good night.
Love you. Bye-bye.